Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Steven's Sausage Roll, where today we take on the Dragon Claw and the seemingly unending supply of puzzles that await beyond. Alright, so let's figure this out. How are we going to get these sausages over to the place where these sausages got to go? And also, what about me? Because, obviously, I'm going to have to go over there to sausage them, and then we're gonna have to be able to get back. So this dragon claw object here has to be capable of doing those things for us. So okay, the thing that strikes me immediately, the thing that jumps right out to me. First of all, we have two sausages, so obviously we can maneuver them around such that we can carry this thing kind of all over the place. We're going to want to put it down somewhere over there to the left, yeah? But, we could climb up on this thing, get onto a sausage here, roll over, and then, get back off of it. My biggest question is, it seems clearly designed to allow us to climb on top of a sausage and then use a sausage to cross some space, right? But, in what way is that ever going to be useful to us? Because we have to be able to get back down. This is the tricky thing. And, it's easy enough to think, you could... Well, never mind. I didn't even see a way that would work. I was gonna say, there's, a way that you could lay these... Lay a sausage down, put this thing in a position where you could get onto that sausage, then from there get onto the other sausage, roll one of them across the grill, and then back. But actually, that's not even true, is it? And actually, given where this sausage starts... Yeah, there's not even a way to... There's not even a way to pull that back over here. So, alright. If we want to be able to move the Dragon Claw to the left, it would definitely seem to be perhaps wiser to have it start here. Because then this way we can, we can roll this thing a considerable distance before the claw falls off the top of it. All right, at this point we can roll it onto the other sausage. Although I'm gonna get it stuck on my head really easily. And if I do this, it won't roll because yeah, it's on my head. So in fact, we want to get it onto the bottom half of the sausage if we want to move it again at all. That's a powerful if though. Just rolling it all the way across the world is certainly not going to help us. We just deposit it over there on that island. That didn't help me. But what do we do? How could it possibly be of any use to us, is the question. We have this thing that in theory allows us to climb up onto the height of the sausages, the height of the top of the sausages, and then we can stand on top of them, but there's nothing that we can do while we're standing on top of them that will matter even the slightest little bit. Right? Because we have to be able to get back down, I can't move them horizontally to the grill, and I can't move them vertically from on top of them. So what is the fucking point? Okay, so if you do this, Right, if we do something like this, we can totally step over. Oh, I guess it's a roll it back and forth thing. Maybe. So like, let's say we tuck this sausage in here. Nope, can't do that. But we probably do want this sausage to be at this height at least. But no, we're going to have to be able to get onto it. Alright, maybe I have to do this. But I'm not going to be able to climb onto the ladder with them both in position. So we'll have to do it like this. So that I can step up here. And then this allows me to move them both over. Oh, except until it doesn't. Right. This whole machine probably has to be like south of tile, yeah? Wait, how am I... This isn't gonna work. Because now I have to like put myself... I can't get on top of the sausage anymore because I have to... Well, I guess it works if I move this thing... We just need to make this happen in these 3 rows, right? It doesn't have to be right here to start with. So, okay, let me... You know what? Honestly, it's probably fine. Okay. So now we can roll this all the way across here, and then we can just take it back the other way with the other sausage when it is time to do so. The question now is, can I actually cook the sausages in this position? How do I get down? Just now realizing like there's actually no way to get down off of this thing once you've built it, because like, and if I roll one sausage away to create a space for my fork, then from that sausage I can no longer access the thing. So then it has to be... I don't know, there's something about it that just feels very natural building it that way, but I guess the sausages have to be at the far ends. So let's try something like... a machine that is more this shape, which does allow me to get on top of it more easily at the very least. Oh, but no, but I can't walk up and down. So, okay. I can't walk up and down, but I do need to be able to, so I think it's not symmetrical is the thing. Because you have to be able to walk up off of the one sausage, but then we have to, but there has to be room at the end of the journey for us to step off of the thing entirely. So it looks more like... And then because these are apart, I can slip in here. Right, if I do it this way, then, like right here, we can step off. We have room to step down off of it. And then... How do I get this other sausage around to be cooked? I can push this up, but I can't push it up again without losing access to the sausage. Is this another one of these cook it by halves thing? Let's see. We can push this as far back as here. It's still retrievable from there. Okay, that gets this out of the way. Shoot, that's right. That tile doesn't exist. That was my plan, was to press down and... Yeah. Okay, hold on. We gotta pull some stuff back together here. My plan was to walk down and, you know, stand beside the southern half of that sausage and lift it upward, but that cannot, in fact, happen. So... what I can do is, like, get this sausage over to here. No, I'm not going to be able to pull this back then, though. Huh. How am I ever going to be able to cook the other sausage? Maybe I can't pull the whole maneuver here. Maybe I have to cook the one sausage, take the machine back, and then swap the sausages. Can I at least do that? So what you would do is you'd move this up to here. And then we could move this as far as there. But I have to be able to get up onto it, so I can't move any further than this. And isn't that a huge problem? Because I need it to move one tile further. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Maybe I can do this. And then we can just move it back. And that buys me the space to do this version of the cook. Which, as a result, puts the sausage back on the correct side of the area. Yeah. Except, in order to get off of the thing... To replicate the thing that we did last time, I would have to push that sausage, the cooked one, down and to the right, and there'd be no way to get onto the platform, to get onto the dragon's claw. But obviously, if I get on things right now, there's no way to get off of the dragon's claw. And I could fix this by scooting it to the right, except that I can't, because the move that would scoot it to the right is no longer available. So hold on. Maybe I screwed up somewhere back here. Maybe it can't go this far to the left? It's hard to get it to separate from the other sausage, though. So hold on. If I do this, then I'm creating a situation where I can step here, move it to the side, and then I can push it down from here. Okay. Now, to reposition this correctly... Nope. I need to move the dragon claw... I need to move the dragon claw upward. That's really not easy to do. Let's get this sausage the maximum amount out of the way. But I want to be able to walk around the right side of it. Challenge. Challenging, very problematic. The thing is, if we put the... Obviously, I can't move this anywhere except left without destroying the sausage. That's kind of useful, almost. This is what we want, right? Then I push this to here, and we just reconstruct, but we swap the positions of the sausages. Which I think is very doable. Oh. Just push you over to there. Actually, let me through here real quick. So the position this thing ends up in is this, right? Oh, right, except I... Except I don't do that there. I do it like over here. So that I have room to step up onto the thing. They are still doing so much work with the limitations of space. Okay. At this point, we can just do the same cook. So in order to make it the same cook, we want to go push you out here and then to there. Does she remember how she did it? No, absolutely fucking not. We're going to have to reconstruct this shit from first principles because that's how my brain is. So part of the problem here is that I need you to come in from the side. Did you need to be pushed one more tile left before I stepped off? I guess I could have reconstructed that, you know. We could have done this without having to rewind all that. Some of it had to be rewound, but not all of it, certainly. Okay, let's just put you all the way over there. Then... all the space. don't push you over there. Push this thing up. There we go. Much smoother that last time. Okay, a solution, a puzzle. Forward. We continue to push forward, ever so slowly. Have we read this one yet? A ghost isn't a dead person with unfinished business. It is a living person carrying the weight of the dead. I don't necessarily think that all systems of spirituality would agree with you there. All right, there's a sneaky ladder over here that we can use to sort of realign in a way that makes sense. Because this is actually like a really tricky setup with these ladders all around here, making sure that you can't turn downward. I assume that that is what we are meant to do here. Can you discard the fork while climbing? No, okay. Only while falling. People dreamed that in the future, somebody would come and lay them all to rest. Our noble mission. People dreamed that their wishes had meaning. So that's another one over there. There's at least... Wow, there are so many puzzles left. I feel like we've been in this one sort of like long sequence for a really long time. You know, sometimes I feel like a little obscene gesture in the general direction of this whole sausage situation. So... obviously, we're going to have some problems here. But we've been given these ladders for a reason. What that reason is, tough to say. Is this going to be about impaling this sausage and then walking the island up out of the water? It almost must be, right? And then we can push this along in a way that we know works. And at this point, the sausage can be dropped off of it onto the other island. Although there's no way to cook it if I do that. Suppose that's a consideration worth making. Were I to... All right. If there was a way to get the island to the right, just a single tile. And, I mean, fairly worth noting, there isn't, at least the way things are right now. But if there was a way to get it to slide over from here to the right, just a single tile, we could drop this sausage into a cookable position. But how would we make something like that work? And how are we going to get back over? And. There's actually a lot of problems here. So if we... I can't use this sausage to engineer a sideways push the way we used it to engineer an upwards push. We can't really do anything else with it, anything other than what we have done. But obviously, pushing the island up to here sort of ends the fun, right? There are 2 ladders here. Okay, that just prevents the island from coming up at all. That would seem to be pretty bad. But what if there's a different thing to do here? Boy, it sure doesn't seem like there is, does it? Like, not to put the coffin in that right away. Or the nail, rather, in that particular coffin right away. And not to put a coffin in it either. Wouldn't really make any sense to do. How would we accomplish anything from here? I mean, a thing we certainly can do is cook the one sausage, right? If we push this sausage over to the right one, up off the island, walk off of the island onto this sausage, we can transfer onto the other sausage when we get to that height and cook it, but we can't transfer back because attempting to get back to the north would involve going over the grill again. So there is definitely a question, like, there's a really important question here as to how we are going to get down off of this island and how we are going to get back over to the island we're on now. And I think the answers to those questions are going to give us the whole puzzle, right? That's the only thing there is to figure out here. So at a certain point, you can just get down. Once you've moved this thing enough, you have access to a ladder, and it lets you climb down here. But like, to what end, right? Why do I want to push the island from there instead of pushing it via the sausage and fork like we had been pushing it thus far? And the answer's gotta be that like the sausage needs to not be in that position anymore, right? Yeah, the sausage has to no longer be in the appropriate position to do that, which means we probably want it here because we can just... Now we have a functional bridge. There we go. That's the answer to that. Okay. Was that so hard? to hear me tell it, you'd think, oh yeah, definitely yes. But in fact, the answer is no. I'm just, you know, not the sharpest all the time. Okay, so we want to bring this up here. Do this, get on the island, and from this position on the island, swap them. And then push this back down here. Oh, well, actually, sorry, before I break everything, let's get this off of there and onto this island proper. It's weird how much this feels like the tutorial for some of the earlier island puzzles, right? All right. 2 new problems for me to bury. Where exactly is the puzzle? Okay, well, it sure does seem like they're gonna want us to preserve these little dragons. You know how the island feels about its weird little dragon statues? The nursery. Welcome. Welcome to the nursery. Interesting. There are so many little grills here. So, all right. Thing I definitely notice immediately is this little... Right, what am I doing? That's not in the position for that. Okay, hold on. Thing I notice immediately is this little divot here, right? Which would seem to exist for the purpose of stab this and then climb up here. But we'd have to figure out a way of doing that without dislodging a dragon, without losing a dragon. And these things are definitely in sort of problematic positions for that. Does this... Okay, that does still roll things. Oh, well, is that gap... That gap is 2 tiles. Hold on. We use this in exactly the opposite way. Alright. That allows me to rescue one of the dragons. Okay. Although rescue is a strong word for what's happened here because it's still kind of hanging off the world in a way that I can't really interact with. And we certainly can't do the same thing down here. Although, that said, we can now walk this upward via the 2 sausages. Not far enough, though. Yeah. Not far enough. So I would love to back up onto this thing. Because, like, the way we're going to do this, I see it now. The way we're going to do this involves using the fork up here to keep this thing where it needs to be. But I need to be able to step over onto it. Which I definitely cannot do. I need to be able to take a step to my left while my fork is facing to my right, but any attempt to make the fork face to the right is going to lead to us climbing down the ladder. So, doing this is not actually helpful. Because the problem is I need a sausage to be... These elements of the puzzle are not currently very interactable. So we're going to have to figure out something about that as well. There's no way to retrieve either of these sausages once we get them over here hanging off the world like this. There's this thing that we could do like we did with these last time. Oh, come on. where we hang it off the side of the ledge. Or potentially off of the other dragon. But I don't know that I think that's necessarily a super helpful thing to do right now. Like, what is the utility? What is gained in this moment by doing that? Okay. Is there some way? No, I don't think so. I was going to see if there was some way from the start of the puzzle to maybe do the dark blue dragon first. But I don't think so. I think we're in the position where you are when you get to do this thing. It's just I obviously can't walk forward while facing left, and I can't walk sideways without a stabbed sausage, which I cannot get. And once I have this guy no longer being a problem, then we will be able to stab these sausages and retrieve them. Like, they become retrievable. The one to the north, the vertically aligned one that is next to the white dragon, still hugely problematic. Still have no idea what we're going to do about that. But one problem at a time, right? I can't make these sausages slide northward. No. Yeah, see, the problem here... Let me rewind a whole bunch to before I put the other horizontal sausage in this position. Is there a way to... Oh, yeah, there is. If I do this, I can stab this now and just bring it over here. That's definitely a more useful way to do that. A better way to interact all around. Okay, so just put this out in a position where it can become part of the world. Do the same... Do the same thing with this. The thing that I accidentally did there is definitely interesting, though, huh? Alright, once again, just kind of putting these out where they are maneuverable. So we can pick that dragon up with a sausage that is stabbed correctly. Let's actually take this back a second. I want to see something. So if I step up here... Oh, no, what was I... Why was I thinking I needed to see that? I know what happens, or rather what doesn't happen in that circumstance. So I can... stack these, potentially. Doesn't seem terribly useful. So I think the goal here is just to construct... What we want is these two things hooked on each other like the snout of this here, or vice versa, and then we want to use them to just shove this thing, right? That is the only purpose for these dragon heads, is getting that top left sausage cooked. Because at this point, we could do basically everything else. So if we stab this from the north, we can do the same thing here, but it's not actually useful in either case because the dragon's nose will always be in the way. The other dragon's nose will always be in the way. And the way these things are shaped, okay. Well, here's the thing we can do, which might be useful. Right, I can step onto the sausage and scoot these things around a little bit. So, where would it be helpful for you to be? There's no version of this where this will ever be able to be picked up. I mean, what if I... when I pick the other one up... No, it'll sort of be on top of there, but it'll be the wrong way around, right? We need them... we need this to extend leftward considerably. And right now, it doesn't look like that's what we're going to get out of it. It is quite an extension, too. So how do we... Is there a way to get one of them actually inland? I think that's going to end up being fully necessary. Is one of them has to come inland. But how would we manage that? I guess... No, I'm not going to be able to get onto the sausage. I'm trying to figure out a way to stand on that sausage, the vertical sausage that is right next to the white dragon, because if I can stand up there, I can scoot the white dragon inward a little bit. But the problem with that is it requires me to... Alright, hold on. Get out of the way for a second here. Yeah, the big problem is this thing just needs to not be in the way for a second so that I can line this up. But it needs to end up back in the way. Yeah, the problem is that like I need two different rolling sausages, and I need them to exist over 3 total rows. They can't get past each other like that. Okay, so does this have to happen somewhere else? Like we can recall all of the sausages now. Having done that, I can get all of our stuff back, and we can try to figure out a way of making this work. I just need to be able to roll the sausage over to the position, I guess. So, okay. We got to construct one of these. There's a way to do this, right? We've seen it before. But it has to be in a position where it can actually come in. So, this sausage has to be left like here so that we can... Well, that's definitely wrong. So that we can climb upon here, step onto this, roll up here, do this thing. And then actually that lets me off. So I don't need another piece of the puzzle. Okay. I don't need another piece of like a complicated movement tech. And then we just... Oh, I guess I have to get them both in, don't I? Because I have to maneuver them around the peg up there. So yeah, that's not too bad to do. It's just annoying. So I put you in the exact same position. I will never get the movement smooth. It will just never happen. At this point, I think we've all had to accept it. No, thank you. That's not right. There we go. Move you over to here. Roll this to there. Okay. So, now, let's get all of the sausages out of the way of the dragons. Is this even going to work? Isn't that unrecoverable? Yes, so it has to be cooked first. Actually, these can wait right here. That's fine. All right, so I have to cook. But it's not going to be possible to retrieve one of these after cooking it. So either there's a way to do this that doesn't... Oh, you know what? I'm being silly. When we push this over, it'll no longer be held up by the right island, but it'll be held up by the left island. We don't need a sausage for this at all. I was thinking, in my brain, I was like, as soon as we get the white dragon off of the right island, it's just going to fall in the sea. But right, not as long as my fork is in the way. So, then... From there, it's easy. This is one of those things where I was thinking through... Oh, you have to do these in order. I was thinking through like 2/3 of the plan, and everything would have been fine if I just thought through the last third. But listen, you can save a lot of time in your life if you just assume you're wrong before fully checking. Okay, that wasn't too bad. That was not too bad at all. Gets us past our next block here. These probably both want to be, like, actually on the island. I guess these probably don't want to be on top of each other, though, despite the fact that we have a situation here where we can make them be on top of each other, which is usually, you know, it's usually pretty proof positive. In this case, it does seem like there are two different things to hold up. Okay, so mostly that was just about separating these. Welcome to the canal. Okay. So these are similar to the tree puzzles, except that there's the vertical connector only runs one way. And of course, the islands are wrong. They're in the wrong order. So how do we make that work? I mean, we can certainly... One thing we can do that we can't usually do with these is this. Right, and then I can potentially push this up. It's not going to be able to get past the other island, though. I'm wondering about, like... So you have this situation again, which certainly seems like it is constructed to allow us to get the sausage off of there in some way. But, like, what's the way that's actually going to be useful? I guess once we're here, we can push it all the way onto this island. And then from there, you know? So maybe, hold on, maybe I don't want to mess with the position of that sausage at all. Maybe I want to just get it right back where it was, which I would do by walking around here. Oh, except not immediately. Sorry, I'm being a little silly. We want to get it to this position and then fix it, which not 100%. You would do it like this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Right, gotta be careful how I support the sausage, because I could accidentally ruin everything here. If I try to roll this under here... Okay, no, it doesn't cause any problems. Alright, and then we shove that off there. And now we can use this thing as a central support. Okay, whichever one I press is going to do the wrong thing. Well, why don't you just get on here then? Ah, what an annoyance. Okay. So we have to move this up to here, and then I have to, like, intentionally disable this. Okay, and at this point, in theory, from here it's pretty easy, right? In theory. Okay, now you're holding everything up. And then we just go around here and we remove this one. I guess I don't even have to do this the slow way. We can... And I should be able to... I should be able to just push this through and it shouldn't be a problem, right? Again, in a weird way, this almost feels like a tutorial for a couple of the earlier puzzles. I guess it's like, it's the idea of two of the earlier puzzles combined in that the requirement of a technique from one of them makes the way that you solved the earlier ones impossible. I don't know. It's fine, I guess. People dreamed that they were already dead. Those dreams have progressed quickly. Okay, we're blocked off here. Yo, look at the distance. Look at how far we can still see more puzzles. You remember when I thought we were coming up to the end of the game? I am concerned that we have maybe entered chapter 2 of 15. Alright, we probably should stop here, but let's just have a look at whatever's going on with the next one. So it would seem that this is just going to fall? Huh. Isn't this necessarily the way you would catch this? No, because you'll never be able to get the other half of this sausage, for one thing. But how... But how else would you... Okay. Well, we've got a compelling problem to start the next episode with, I would say. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we are going to wrestle immediately with an apparently impossible problem, even before we begin the next puzzle, somehow. And we'll see you then.